Hey there everyone, welcome back to Game Vine. My name is Dave, and today we are going to be growing in the game of photosynthesis. Let's do it. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a review copy, and it was given to us by Outset Media Games. Thank you so much for your support. Now, it is produced by Blue Orange Games. They make some solid dexterity logic games that I've played with my kids quite a bit, and this is a different breed of its own when it comes to Blue Orange. This is a bigger game, and I still do think it's in the family realm of complexity, but it's a bit heavier, and it takes a unique theme and takes worker placement and does something different with it. Let me show you what I'm talking about down at the table, and let's go into the forest. Alright, so this is what comes in the box, and look at that. Such a simple idea of taking two pieces of cardboard and placing them together with fantastic art design and color just makes a wondrous, fantastic, beautiful forest of a game. I mean, each one of these player trees is unique in style, and each one has different sizes here, a big, medium, and small one. And the player boards even match up with the trees. You have the cardboard sun here. I left the insert here because you are able to take the trees and put them back in the box for easy breakdown. And even the board is beautiful. I am blown away by the production. I hope this game is good. I hope this game is good. I hope this game is good. Alright, let me get to how to show you how to play, and then we'll see if this game is good. Let's go. Alright, so everyone will start with the game by putting two of their small trees out, and they also start with a small helping of trees and seeds, with everything else being on their player board. Now, each one of these tree species, like I said, is just beautiful and different. My favorite is the blue ferns. Now, the game's broke up into different rounds, and each round is broke up into two different phases. The first one is the light source phase. Basically, this is where you're getting life points, light points more of, and you do that by having trees out there gaining the light rays. And as you can see, the arrows show where the light is shining. This will go from each corner, and once it goes around the board the whole way, it will be identified by the tokens that we have here on the rounds, and it will go all the way up to round 4, and after round 4 that will end the game. Now, when you're getting light points, you have to make sure that you aren't in a shadow of another tree. Now, these two here are going to get a 1 light point themselves. So with the small trees you get 1 light point, with the medium trees you get 2 light points, and when you have a big tree you would get 3 life points, or light points more of. Now, if there are a tree in the shadow that's either equal or taller than the tree that's behind it, well, the tree behind it doesn't get any points. So, for example, this level 1 tree is blocking the rays from this level 1 blue fern tree here, so the orange player will get a light point for this, but the blue fern will not. Now, this tree will not get light either because the blue fern is blocking it, and the same goes for this thing right here. Now, if this was the case, then this tree at the very back would be the only one in this line gaining a light point. And the same goes for trees that are like this. So in this case, this big tree is blocking the medium tree, but if this was the case, the big tree would still get its light points because it's taller. Now, in order to get more trees, you have to buy them with light points. Over here it has the amount by the circle right here, and they get more expensive as you get more trees. Now, in order to get trees onto the board, you're going to have to plant a seed, and you can only plant seeds 1 space from the level 1 trees, 3 spaces from the level 3 trees, and what do you want to guess the level 2 trees? 2 spaces. And you can plant the seed, and then you can spend one of the trees that you have in your reserves in order to make a level 1 tree from a seed here, and then a level 2 tree from a level 1 tree, again spending light points, I think 2 light points, yeah, for the medium tree, and then you go ahead and do 3 light points to get a big tree. Now you can also sacrifice 4 light points to end the light trees cycle, and this is how you get points. You would grab the token on which your tree was soil-wise. So the more close to the middle, the richer the soil and the higher the points, and they do get exponentially weaker in points as they go down, so you want to try to get those sooner. But if you don't leave your big guys on the board blocking some of the trees, they might get light points. So you got to kind of weigh out when to end the life cycle of a big guy or when to leave them out. Essentially, that is it. You just take turns trying to get your light points, moving the sun around over 4 rounds here, and then ending lives of trees to get points, and planting new seeds in order to get bigger trees out here, and whoever has the most points after 4 rounds is the winner. Alright, now let me tell you what I think about this game. Let's go. So that is Photosynthesis, and what do I think of this game? It gets an 87 from me, and the Game Vine Play It Award. Absolutely, I like this game quite a bit. It takes a unique theme that is not used enough, and if people who like hiking or just the wilderness can appreciate this, but also people who don't really go outside much can take all these cool trees and make a forest for them. And yes, I do think the production is helping this out and giving it a few points, but I'm not just sitting here. I can't see the tree from the forest from out the trees. I don't know how that saying goes. I can identify that this game still, even though it looks pretty, has a solid gameplay to it. It takes worker placement. This essentially what it is. It's worker placement and does something a little bit different with it. A fact that a shadow can cast over a smaller tree makes sense. This game is just intuitive at its core. And by doing something different, not making it a fantasy theme or going in to kill all these aliens, it's a fantastical forest game. It appeals to pretty much anybody, and it also brings something new into the thread. And by doing this unique theme, it just folds something new into the experience of board gaming. Yes, we have a ton of these fantasy games and space games, but you know what we don't have enough of? Tree games. And you know what, I didn't know we didn't have enough of tree games until I played Photosynthesis, and I think gamers are going to have a fun time with this, but I also think this is a great game to get a person into the modern day board gaming scene by bringing this out, because it's going to be a head turner. People are going to see the trees, especially if you're playing with all 4 players. Now I wouldn't suggest that. I think this is best for 3 to 2 players, but if you're playing 4 players, there's tons of trees and tons of things to account for. It's so much fun. It has tons of replayability. There are different strategies you can kind of go after. Do you want to just grow trees and try to get points by just taking the big guys off as soon as possible? Or do you just want to take a whole bunch of little guys and, you know, get a whole bunch of light points and make sure everybody else is in the shadows? Because the less of the trees that you have on the board, the less shadows you can create, and the less take that this game has. And it's not, the take that aspect is not, it doesn't grind my gears like some of the other take that games are. It's eerie to kind of, to put a finger on it, but it just seems like a lighter aspect of take that, because it's in this just whimsical forest tree game. You're not really being a jerk. It's just your tree's tall and he's casting shadows. And again, it just makes sense. I do think this is got great replayability. I think everyone can play this one, so if you want to pick this one up and this appeals to you, you should know that already, because you should have it a feeling in your heart like, oh yes, I need Photosynthesis. Well, it's going to be in a link down below in the description. But Thank you so much, Outset Games, again, for providing us with such a fun experience. You gals and guys over there, you're amazing. Thank you again. And Vine Nation, you're also amazing by clicking like and subscribe and joining me here on this video, because you could have been anywhere, but you're here hanging out with me, and that just makes me feel like the luckiest person ever. Now, until I see you next time, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all of you play. My name is Dave, and you heard it here on the Game Vine. I'm out. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.